right there for three. That's a beauty, all net. Spurs up by 3. Just over 5 minutes to play in the third. Keldon Johnson works on Ant-Man. Johnson gets the shot to go in the lane. Johnson fired up, just howling out there on the court. How about Dylan Harper? The shot doesn't fall, but Wemby is there on cleanup duty and one. Spurs would lead by 18 entering the fourth quarter. So let's take it to that fourth quarter. Wemby going to work, gets the basket to fall right off the glass. Wemby with 27 points and 17 rebounds in this one. Dylan Harper, some fancy dribbling. Works past the Sumu, throws it down. The rookie showing off Wemby in absolute disbelief. Spurs would go on to win 126-97, and Wemby not fueled by revenge, but excitement in this one.
He was just getting 5. Obviously, I'm going to be excited. I'm going to have butterflies, So excitement is not something abnormal at this point in the playoffs.
I think there was a lot that's happened in the last 48 hours in the last game. And I think how that young man came out tonight and played in a variety of ways, in a variety of situations, not just in terms of his production, was extremely mature.
Tonight, some of the stuff that Wemby was doing, you don't really have too much of an answer for it. Just kind of hope he misses. But he came out high, he made a bunch of shots.
Tell it like it is, Ant. You know who always tells us like it is? NBA analyst Kendrick Perkins up with us this morning on SportsCenter. Perk, last night after the game, you took to X and said this of Wemby, already the greatest defender that I have seen with my own 2 eyes.
Ooh.
Just saying. So defend your claim to those people who do not see what you see.
Well, one, first of all, good morning. Second of all, he's already the most dominant player in the game of basketball. And when you think of dominant players, you think of them being dominant offensively, paint points, snatching the screws out the rim. But what he's doing defensively, I have never seen this. I believe he had 3 blocks last night. It felt like he had 10. The way he anchors that defense and is able to cover up space, I've never seen nothing like it. On top of that, he has so much of a presence in the middle that he allows his guards and perimeter players to be able to apply a huge amount of pressure. So if you're Minnesota or you're any opponent playing against the San Antonio Spurs, you have to be ready to take tough, contested threes and 2-point shots out the paint because you're not driving to the basket on him. He's already the best shot blocker I've seen, but it's a special thing when you're able to go up and challenge a shot and use the other hand wide air to take away passes. I have never seen anything like that in my entire basketball life.
Yeah, Wemby has everyone thinking twice about throwing up those shots. Now, on the other side of the coin, the Timberwolves are facing elimination, going back home for Game 6. So, Perk, what needs to happen for the Wolves to force a Game 7?
Can anybody tell Julius Randle that the playoffs has officially started? That you're in a brawl for it all with the San Antonio Spurs, the team that won 60 games this season? I mean, damn, bro. At some point, when are you going to find a way to get yourself going and be efficient? When are you going to start playing some high-level, high IQ basketball offensively? When are you going to impact the game on the defensive side? You're too versatile. You can slide your feet. You move well. You're athletic. He has not put his fingerprints on this game since Game 1. Anthony Edwards is doing everything that he possibly can on 2 hurt knees. He needs his Robin to step up. Julius Randle has to come out in Game 6 and impose his will on both ends of the floor. He has to be that Robin for Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, it almost feels like Julius Randle is just going through the motions. You can see the reaction on his face when we were going through the highlight right there. We have more from Perk later on.
Game 5. Obviously, I'm going to be excited. I'm going to have butterflies, So excitement is not something abnormal at this point in the playoffs.
I think there was a lot that's happened in the last 48 hours in the last game. And I think how that young man came out tonight and played in a variety of ways, in a variety of situations, not just in terms of his production, was extremely mature.
When it comes down to, who can be the more physical team or who can be the team that is able to, withstand those hits, I think he did a great job at that tonight. He didn't falter whenever, he got hit and he fell to the floor. We know that, even the strongest players in the league get hit and they fall. And when he's playing the way that he played tonight, it's hard to beat us.
A chunky stat sheet for Wembanyama, the fourth player in NBA postseason history with 25 points, 15 rebounds, and 5 assists in a game before turning 23. Pretty good list here. You got Luka, you got Magic, you got then Lou Alcindor as a rookie for the Bucks back in 1970. Here's Ant with the Wolves' backs against the wall.
So you feel like the overall belief level, obviously you're down 3-2, you would have to come back here in a 7, but that you guys can kind of still climb out of this?
Yeah, I don't see nobody in the locker room that's too worried. At the end of the day, man, it's another basketball game. So you come out, put your boots on, and get ready to go to war.
Our NBA analyst, Danny Green, joins us now. Danny, you could tell right from the get-go that Victor was on a bit of a mission early on, just playing with a little bit of an edge. What did you make of his mentality and his performance tonight?
I loved it, man, and that's what I expected from him. That's what everybody expected from him. And I think he had a lot of that extra energy saved up from missing, Game 4 in Minnesota. So he came out like a, bullet out of a cannon, or however you want to call it, and was just filled with a lot of adrenaline. And he got his guys and his troops behind him to have 21 and 11 and a half, 16 points in like the first 6 minutes. Unheard of. It was an unbelievable performance, but he's nothing short of amazing. And he kept that going throughout the whole game. So I love the fact that he came with that mindset. He also instilled in his others. They weren't satisfied. Even though when they were up double digits, they made sure they kept their foot on the gas and showed a lot of maturity.
Now, the series now shifts back to Minneapolis for Game 6. The Wolves facing a potential elimination on their home floor. What does Minnesota need to do to push this to a Game 7, Danny?
Well, they got to find a way to kind of keep Wemby away from the basket, right? He's getting closer to the basket. He's rebounding. The biggest reason why they won Game 4 was the rebounds. And also they were able to attack the rim. It was 38 more drives or attempts on goal at the rim, which is second highest under Chris Finch. And the game before that was 32 kickouts, because he has that effect where he makes you kick out. You still got to attack him or find ways to get him away from the basket, but be physical with him. And then also offensively, Anthony Edwards has to find ways where he can beat the double team. You can't just concede to it, and they have to put him in position where it's harder to double, whether it's closer to the basket in the Malone spot or the free throw line area where he can easily find somebody for a kick out 3. But they got to be more aggressive and assertive with him offensively and defensively of keeping Wemby away from the basket.
Game 6 Friday in Minnesota. We'll see how it all goes down. More from Danny Green later.